Hey everyone, Tim here. I'd like to introduce you to a friend of mine. This is Supernaut, my advanced AI prompt engineer. Now, the reason I'm introducing you to Supernaut is because I've been talking to lots of friends who are building AI agents, and they're spending a lot of time writing system prompts, running those prompts, finding out there are problems, playing around with the instructions, running them again. And this process is really time consuming and quite frustrating. The great thing about Supernaut is one, Supernaut is just a genius level prompt engineer and is capable of putting out very high quality level system instructions with just a few conversational prompts. But once you have Supernaut, you can build any kind of agent you want, including evaluation agents. So it's very simple to use Supernaut to spin up an agent that you can use to stress test your prompts. And then you've got a little system that you can use to ensure that the prompts that you're creating are really first class and bug-free before you actually put your agent into production. All I want to do right now is show you how easy it is to build with Supernaut. So what I want to do is, actually what I'm going to do is use Supernaut to create a very simple prompt engineering architect that I will give to you. I'm going to design this to run on a custom GPT. So it's going to be very lightweight. I think custom GPTs have a maximum of 8,000 system characters, but it will at least give you a sense of what you can do with this agent. So let's have a crack at that. Hey Supernaut, I'd like your help to develop a prompt engineering assistant. This is going to be a very lightweight prompt engineering assistant. We're going to run it on a custom GPT. So the system instructions must be no more than 8,000 characters max. Having said that, let's not pinch pennies. We want to squeeze as much juice from this set of system instructions as we can. So if we wind up with 7,999 characters in our system instructions, that is excellent. That's what we want to achieve, actually. So here's what we want this prompt engineering assistant to do. We want to create a prompt engineering assistant that works collaboratively with the user to understand the kind of agent they want to build. The agent or the assistant will ask the user questions about the agent they want to build. They will ask them about the context in which they're using that agent. And they'll also ask the user if they could share any training documents or knowledge files that could help our prompt engineering assistant understand what it is trying to build. If the user uploads knowledge files to the custom GPT, then the prompt engineering assistant will read those files very carefully and incorporate the insights into its ongoing questions, and ultimately into the system instructions that it develops. So once this assistant has an understanding of the agent the user wants to build and the context in which that user is using the agent, it will ask the user about the personality they want, the kind of interaction they want from this agent. It will ask for specific instructions as to what this agent is supposed to do. That's very important. It will also try to elicit from the user some insight into the criteria that the agent should use to evaluate what good performance looks like. The kinds of the do's and don'ts of the agent to guide its ultimate output. Now, finally, we want this agent to produce a set of examples to guide its own behavior. So I think every set of system instructions that this agent produces should have 2 to 3 clear examples focused on stretch and edge case scenarios to ensure that the agent that is produced, that runs on these system instructions, has a very clear idea of how it should behave in situations where it doesn't quite know what to do. So once the agent has got all this information from the user, it will ask the user, can I go ahead and print out the system instructions? When the user says yes, the agent will print out these instructions. Let's say it will print them out in Markdown format, because I'm going to assume that these agents are going to be running on OpenAI models. and it will always print out the system instructions in a single code block. So that's our vision. Perhaps you could just ask me 3 clarifying questions about anything that you need to know in order to produce the best version of this agent you can. So it's always good to ask Supernaut for those clarifying questions because you tend to miss things when you're giving these instructions, and Supernaut can help you clarify your own thinking. So I'm running Supernaut on Gemini 2.5 Pro. It's doing its thinking. And here's 3 questions. When the assistant's gathering information, should it be transparent about its methodology? Yeah, the assistant can use the notion of role and instructions and criteria, but it's not educating the user in the role context, instructions, criteria, and examples framework. It's going to use that framework to produce a system instructions, but it doesn't need to tell the user about that. Second question, regarding the knowledge files a user might upload, how should the assistant handle that information? Blah, 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 blah. It doesn't need to summarize its key takeaways. It should just read the files and then draw on insights in formulating its further questions to the user. If the user ever pushes back against the thinking that the assistant is sharing, then the assistant should be prepared to change its direction in response to the user. Question 3, for creating the stretch and edge case examples, who should be responsible for imagining those scenarios? Look, I think the assistant should ask the user if they have any idea of stretch and edge case scenarios that could really challenge this agent. But if the user doesn't have that, then the agent should just produce some probable stretch and edge case scenarios that seem to make sense. So hopefully that is enough to enable you to create a great set of system instructions. I'd like you to go ahead and create those system instructions now. Once again, print them out in a single code block in Markdown format, and the whole set of instructions must be no greater than 8,000 characters. So that obviously is a really fast demo of Supernaut, but what you're going to see is just how excellent this assistant is at producing your system instructions or system prompts. I really just wanted to give you a sense of the speed at which you can do this. If I wasn't running this on Gemini 2.5, it would be even faster because Gemini 2.5 does a lot of thinking before it takes any action. Okay, come on, dude. Get to the system instructions. We're really impressed with your chain of thought reasoning. Finalizing, enhancing instruction detail, finalizing, cuffed. Here we go. Okay, so here's the system instructions for your new prompt engineering assistant. You are the expert AI prompt architect and collaborative co-pilot. You've got a role, context, you've got instructions broken down into 1, 2, 3, 4 phases, 5 phases. You have a set of criteria, and it doesn't look like 8,000 characters gave us the room for examples, or maybe Supernaut just misunderstood. Hey, I note that you haven't given me a set of examples here. Is that because you couldn't fit them into the 8,000 character limit? I suspect that Supernaut just got a bit confused because I was working fast and I was talking about how the agent that we're creating here will produce examples. Yeah, okay. This was not because of the 8,000 character limit, but a deliberate design choice. The system instructions I created are the recipe for your prompt architect. In this case, the example section is a tool that prompt architect, blah, blah, blah. The prompt architect itself doesn't need examples of its own conversational flow because its behavior is already explicitly defined by detailed instructions. Adding examples of its own conversations would be redundant to those instructions and would use up valuable character space that's better spent on making its logic and process as clear as possible. Okay, I'm satisfied with that. Let's just take that and look, I would usually put this into ChatGPT, but seeing as we're here on Typing Mind, I'm just going to stick the system instructions into the agent portal on Typing Mind. We're going to call this the AI prompt architect. Whoops. AI prompt architect. And we are going to assign it a model, and that model is going to be GPT-5. Let's see how this one works on GPT-5. Oh, title and system instructions cannot be empty. Didn't manage to put that in there. And we're off to the races. Okay. Hey there, let's work together to create an AI agent. And we'll see how this thing works. Okay, so this is you. You're the user. You are working to create an AI agent. And after a little bit of thinking, come on, GPT-5. Great to meet you. I'm here to help you to design and build your system instructions. Couple of quick questions. What problem will the agent solve? Blah, blah, blah. Here are the key decisions we'll make together. Great, great. If you have any documents you'd like to upload, please upload them. They'll let me tailor the instructions precisely to your needs. So that's how easy it is when you have Supernaut. And as I say, with Supernaut, you can also create evaluation assistants to stress test the agents that you build really fast, really easy. I do all this work on Typing Mind because it's a really powerful platform. But, you could also go a long way just working with these agents in custom GPTs or Claude products or Gemini Gems, whatever platform you're working on. I'm going to take these system instructions and I am going to share them in a post so that you can put this assistant to use. And look, if what you've seen here is intriguing and you would like to know more, or if you would like to get your hands on the system instructions for Supernaut and Supernaut's cousin, Supernaut Evals, all you need to do is enroll in cohort 4 of SuperEsk, because we give these agents away to everyone who enrolls in their program. So that's all I'd like to say. Have a great day, and I would love to hear how your work with the AI prompt architect goes. Okay, cheers, guys.